All right. Good evening, everyone. It's another pleasant opportunity to host you here today. This is something that I do for passion, and I always like impacting as many people as possible. For those who don't know me, my name is Coach Kelvin Waga. Coach Kelvin Waga is a humanitarian and a go-to career coach if you want to secure a job opportunity first. This we do through our services, but majorly we have free weekly sessions, at least to go through the process. And we started a series some time back, and we've been building on the series weekly so that at least we can make our lives better. So we've talked about CV revamps. We've talked about job interview preparations. We've talked about job search strategies. And why am I doing this? When the year started, so many people were reaching out to me in that they tried applying for several jobs, but they were not getting called for an interview. And even after attending the interview, they still could not secure a job. And then I asked myself, why should I help one person at a time if I can organize these sessions to help as many people as possible? Me talking to you, a pure testimonial, because I've come from far and I know what it means to be jobless. I know what it means to look for a job, and I know what it takes to be a job seeker. And this is why I do what I do. Many people ask me, why are you not charging for these sessions? Yet when we attend other sessions, we get charged a lot of money for this. Yes, I know. The value we give here is to help us help so many people as possible. And just to report to you, we've been getting like success stories on a daily basis, whereby people are getting jobs, people are getting interviews, and I'm so much honored to continue. I'm so much honored to continue to keep on doing what I do, and through your support, we are gonna make this a success. So today, I thought it wise to share with us the secrets that will help us secure job first. And why am I talking about my secrets? Because you realize that one or two, three things that we are going to talk about here today, these are things that maybe you do them on your daily basis. And having interacted with so many job seekers, there's something that I've come to notice that so many of us have looked for this job until we've gotten to a point whereby we are tired. We don't want to do it anymore. And some of us are basing our efforts on luck for us to do what we do. But that should not be the case. And that is why I decided to invest on this so that at least we continue doing things the right way. That being said, as a norm before we start, I always like getting maybe expectations from 2 or 3 people, what we expect to get in today's session. So I'm gonna give it to, if you want to share something, maybe you can raise your hand and I'll select you, and then you can be able to tell us your expectations for today's meeting. The floor is open. Who wanna go first? Or I call at random just to realize, just to find out how many people are with us. Okay. Millicent, what's your expectation for today's meeting? Millicent Dote.
Yes, my love.
Yes, Eric, go ahead.
Oh my God. Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah, today I would just like to learn more about how to prepare, like if you're job seeking, what should I avoid? And maybe if there's some mistakes I've made in the past, I would just like to get acquainted with them. At least I get to know not to do such mistakes again. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, yes, yes.
Yes, sorry, I was my hands were a little bit tied. I wasn't able to unmute.
It's okay.
Okay. So what I expect for today's session is okay, it's all about what I wish I knew. So for me is how to do the networking. I think for me it's becoming a little bit, I don't know whether it's becoming difficult. Yeah, because I do send like the jobs, the traditional way where you send and then you wait for interview. I also do networking, but it's not becoming fruitful. Yeah, so maybe there's something that I am supposed to know about that.
Okay. Thank you. All right, that is fine. Sorry for the slight interruption. So without wasting much time, I'll go direct to it. What I'd prepared for us today. Maybe just to start us off, if you've been following me, especially on LinkedIn for some time, you'll realize that I share more of what I went through as a job seeker, the frustration, the depression, and how I lost hope in sending these job applications. But along the process, I came to realize what I wasn't doing right and how I've grown to where I am today. So today I wanted to share with us some of these secrets. They are not secrets anymore. It's only that some of us have gone through the process over and over until we have gotten to a point whereby we tell ourselves that we are ready for, we are gonna do it for luck. So the first thing that, just give me a second. And I'll kindly request us to mute our mics. I'm kindly requesting us to mute our mic, please. If you've not mute your mic, please mute your mic so that at least you don't make me go back and forth. Okay, thank you. So, number one, the objective of this session today is to equip you with essential steps and strategies for landing your dream job quickly. So we are going to go through self-assessment. We are going to cover networking, and then we are going to talk about actionable tips and techniques.
Thank you.
I'm asking those people who have not muted their mic, please do so. Okay. Can you still see my screen? I got interrupted, sorry.
Yes, we can see your screen, sir.
Okay. Please, if you've joined the meeting, kindly join and mute your mic so that at least we don't interrupt. We don't interrupt those that are currently listening. So, as I was saying, today's session, we want to go from self-assessment, we want to go to networking, and then we want to go to the actionable tips and techniques that will help you enhance your job search. That being said, number one thing that I have realized so many of us struggle to go through is something that I call stamina during job seeking period. And when I talk about stamina, it is very hard for you to be jobless, not be able to meet your daily needs, not be able to maybe afford the basic needs. During this time, you'll realize that you've been engraved by your own challenges until it comes to a point whereby you can't think objectively when it comes to your job search. One thing I can tell you is you need to stay motivated and you need to be positive throughout your job search journey. And when I talk also about stamina, you'll realize that some of us, we get to be choosy. And when I talk about being choosy, we don't just want to do any kind of a job. We are only open to the jobs that maybe will satisfy us, or the job that can make us qualified. But what I can tell us today is, when I talk about stamina, I mean that at least you should involve yourself in some side hustles to help you meet your daily needs. And there are quite a number of side hustles that you can join. I know sometimes it might be tricky, but at least you can try to get something that can help you put food on the table. And then you need to overcome setbacks, so whereby you need to develop strategies to manage stress and handle rejection constructively. You realize that after sending so many applications, some of us get devastated, and then we tell ourselves that from this, you're not going to continue with this process anymore. But the moment you do this, you'll get back to your problems. And the moment you get back to your problems, you realize that you'll waste some time in between before you put your next foot forward. So it's always good to stay motivated, and it's always good to have strategies of attacking or of approaching this job search journey. So mainly focus. So you need to set daily goal and celebrate small achievements to stay encouraged. So the first thing that I want us to talk about is, most of us job seekers, we don't know what we want. And this has made it difficult for us to get the kinds of jobs that we are looking for. So many people have reached out to me to connect them to the job search. And you realize that when I ask this question, what exactly can you do that will make you, like, what makes you unique? You'll realize that or not most, but some of the people I talk to, instead of expressing themselves, they'll share with me their CVs to go through to see what makes them the perfect candidate. So knowing what you want as a job seeker is very, very important. And being that this webinar is, we are having people from different levels of this job search process. We are having those who are looking for jobs. We are having those who have jobs that they are not comfortable with, and they are looking for greener pastures, and they're looking for maybe people who just would like to develop their career. So number one thing that you need to do is you need to be very clear, and clarity, as you say, there is always key. So you need to define your career goals, identify your long-term career objectives and what you want to achieve in your next role. And then number two, you need to explore different sectors and companies that align with your interests and values. And then the third one is you need to target a specific role, whereby to understand the job titles and job descriptions that fit your skills and career aspiration. But that being said, let me first stick to this point. When it comes to what do I exactly want? Number one thing, why are you looking for this job? Are you looking for this job to maybe meet your bills? Are you looking for this job for career growth? Are you looking for this? Are you looking maybe for this job, maybe for security? So once you've noted that one down, it will help you scale down on the jobs that you want to apply to. So being clear from the word go will help you align your skills in such a way that if a stranger comes and asks you, can you tell me about yourself and what makes you unique? You don't need to share your CV with that person. You can go ahead and start explaining your unique set of skills, your expertise, and maybe your success stories if you want. Along through this, this session, we are going to cover that. So as job seekers, it's always very, very important, because that is where you start at whatever stage you are in. So we are going to be giving these tips, and through these tips, you can pick 1 or 2, 3 things that can help you. So you've known what you want. Now, the next step that you want to do is you want to make yourself valuable. And when I talk about making yourself valuable, is you need to be different from your competitors. You need to be different for the people, the same people who are gunning for the job that you are looking for. So for you to attract the hiring managers, you need to make yourself valuable. And this is something that we've done, I think, in 3 sessions, whereby LinkedIn is the only platform that will give you the exposure. LinkedIn is the only platform that will give you the kind of exposure you need. And when I talk about exposure here, I mean you'll get people who will judge you for what kind of value that you're producing, or you'll get people who judge you for who you are without necessarily having the special attachment. So attracting hiring managers. So number one, you need to highlight your achievements. So you need to showcase your accomplishments and how they benefit the past employers. Yes, in most cases, you realize that somebody asks you, why should I hire you? But so many of us struggle because they don't really understand why they should be hired. And you realize that when I ask you, why should I hire you? Some of us will recite what we've written on our CV under the profile summary section, or some of us will talk about ourselves because we've not identified our core achievements and we've not even matched them to the specific jobs that we are looking for. So it's always paramount that you highlight your achievements and then see on how you can match these achievements to the employers that the potential employers that you intend to work with. The second one is you need to showcase your skills. When I talk about showcasing your skills, there's difference between showcasing your skills and also highlighting your achievements. So you need to demonstrate relevant skills and expertise through your resume and your portfolio. And you realize that if you have a CV, for instance, whereby we've just listed some of the skills, I've witnessed CVs that have more than 30 skills. I've witnessed some that has 25 skills. I've witnessed some that have maybe 10 skills, 5 skills. But what you should ensure is that when an employer looks at your CV, they should be able to tell these skills listed here, how can these skills relate to the kind of job that I want to give to this person? So when even identifying these skills, and this is why you realize that for the past 3 weeks, I've been on CVs, because some of us go to an extent of just highlighting the skills there, but these skills does not reflect in the other parts of the CV. And this one comes also to the LinkedIn. When it comes to revamping your LinkedIn, there's under, how do I call it? There's under experience section. And in the experience section, you're supposed to highlight, for instance, this if there are these skills, when it comes to highlighting those roles, at least let these skills appear in your profile. And how does this help you as a job seeker? You realize that when the hiring managers will be searching by titles, it will be easier for you to reflect, or it will be easier for you to appear amongst some of the best candidates in that particular area. And then also illustrate how you can solve specific problems or add values to these companies. And this is why I also said in our previous webinar that content creation for job seekers is always a must. If you're looking to gain attention, if you're looking to gain attention of the potential employers, it's very important that you make these people know that you exist. And how do you make them know that you exist? Is by presenting solutions as posts, is by presenting solutions maybe in their post as comments, as shares, and as all kind of stuff. So what am I saying in this slide? Something that you're supposed to take home is, in whatever situation, be it on LinkedIn, be it on the networks, the networking sessions you attend, be it on your personal resume, ensure you make yourself valuable. And this is where we fall short as job seekers. We've trusted on our CV so much that when the CV is taken away from us, we cannot clearly define who we are. And this is a problem I've faced with so many people who've gone through the interview coaching. You realize that somebody tells me, Coach, I've gone for several interviews. I've tried presenting myself, but I don't secure this interview. So what happens here is we've still not mastered the art of making ourselves valuable. So if you've not, I think I have a session recorded on my YouTube channel about how to create content on LinkedIn, but I think I'll do another session on it. It's always very important, even on your CV. When I look at your CV from the profile summary section, from the key competency or the skills, and from the core achievements, at least I should be in a position to see value. And when I see that, that is when now I can decide to go an extra mile to contact you. What did I do when I was growing, during my job searching period? Once I had a good CV, I only imagined that what I needed to change. Sorry, please mute your mic. I can't see you. Please mute your mic. Thank you. So during my job searching periods, I used to trust on my CV so much in that the only thing I thought it was important for me to revise and change was the cover letter. And in most cases, even the cover letters, you realize that some of us don't even change our cover letter. The only things that we change in the cover letter is the contact session and maybe the date of a job application. But making yourself valuable, and I think I need to reiterate on this point, especially when you get a job that you're applying for. The first thing you need to do is go through the job application, go through, the job advert, read and look at what they are looking for, the kind of experiences they are looking for, look at the kind of qualifications that they are looking for. And once you pick from those qualifications, ensure that whatever is appearing there can be reflected on your CV. And this is always very easy. How is it easy? As long as it is captured on the first section, whereby it's captured on the profile summary, captured on the skills that you possess, and it's captured on the your core achievements. That is the only place that you should be revising over and over in your CV, and maybe the first role if it relates to the job that you're applying for. So as a job seeker who is here, what I can tell you is always try to make yourself valuable. As we'll be talking about networking, I think I'll continue. I'll proceed maybe to give more insights on the same. Once you've made yourself valuable, you have all the relevant requirements, you have all that you need to, get the job, you know what you want, you've aligned your CV perfectly well, you've aligned your LinkedIn profile is superb, and you're creating content. Now you need to filter your perfect fit job. So when it comes to filtering your perfect fit job, don't just be a dustbin. I mean, what I mean by a dustbin is anything that comes your way, you throw in the application. Because I've also realized that some of us, we apply to so many jobs that when an employer, when you get an interview, you start panicking because you cannot even trace the kind of job that you applied for. So you get to an interview room, you don't know the position you're interviewing for, you've not prepared, and it becomes very difficult for you to present your achievement. It becomes very difficult for you to present your your expertise and all kinds of such. So you need to be very selective. And when I talk about selective, investigate company cultures, values, and growth. There's a position I was looking for. Somebody had asked me to recommend maybe a candidate for a specific job in one of these tech industries. I reached out to so many people, and some of them were like, I've done my due diligence, and I don't think if the working culture is okay. I've done my due diligence, and I don't think I can work there, because these are people who went an extra mile to see and to do the research of the company and if they would perfectly fit in that company. I've also experienced people who they get so happy.
Hello, Coach. No. Hello, Coach. We are not able to get the sound.
You're muted, Kelvin.
Oh, sorry about that. Thank you. So as I was saying, there are people who I've interacted with people who get jobs, And 1 month down the line, you realize that they are regretting why they left their previous job because they didn't do the due diligence required for that particular job. So this is always very key when it comes to getting the jobs that you want. Things might be rosy outside, but if you've gotten into that company, you'll realize that things are not as you expected them to be, but it's too late. Losing a job is losing a job in this economy we are living on is very easy, but getting a job might be very difficult. So during your job searching process, you need to do research about these companies. And how can you do the research? You can check through their profiles, check their reviews, connect with people who work there, try to make a connection and create rapport with them for them just to give you an insight of what you are looking for. Once you've done the research, now you need to match the job criteria. So ensure that the jobs align with your career goal, salary expectation, and work-life balance. I know some people have told me, Coach, how can I incorporate the kind of skills that I possess? I'm good with customer service. I'm good with sales. I'm good with administration. I'm good with HR. I'm good with A, B, C, and D. So you realize that what happens is when you present yourself, when it comes to matching these criteria, you realize that you are everywhere and you can do anything. And there's a saying that goes that if you are useful to everyone, you realize that at one point you'll become useless as you become useful to no one. So when I talk about matching these criteria, you might possess the customer service skills, you might possess the sales skills, you must possess all these kind of skills, but always try to align and match the skills with the particular job that you are looking for. And that is now where I talk about reviewing your CV. That's where I talk about ensuring that whatever is on the job advert is clearly reflecting on your job. And this is what we've been doing through our CV revamp services. And so many people are getting interviews, so many people are getting a job. Because what I ensure that the kind of CVs that we do, once you're done with doing these CVs, we'll take you through. If there's something that you don't understand from your CV, and if I've ever revamped your CV for you, you realize that my parting shot to is always being, don't trust on this document, but try to master what is on that document. And then apply strategically. You need to focus on positions that closely match your skills and interests to maximize your chances. If you belong to my group, sometimes I share job opportunities, and I give clear instruction whereby I say something like, the person so-and-so is looking for job candidates, and the salary that they are giving is 15,000. You realize that somebody sends me their CV and tells me, yes, coach, I'm available for that particular salary. Once they've gotten to the interview, they're like, the paying that they're giving is so little. I don't think if I can get that job anymore. So you need to apply strategically to positions that you feel that best suits your kind of preference. You need to apply to positions that once you get to the last process, you don't get to a point whereby you develop a cold feet when it comes to that. Then you need to showcase, show you are the perfect fit. So this is what we call standing out. And what I mean by standing out is you need to customize your application. So you need to tailor each resume and cover letter to the specific job and the company. And this is what allow me repeat this, I don't know for how many times. The only sections that you need to be moderating or changing, aligning to the job is the profile summary section, is the skill set section, and the key competency, and maybe the first, the current, the how do I call it? The current or the recent post that you have, so that at least you ensure these duties are there. And then now you need to prepare for interview. You need to practice common interview questions and develop strong answers that align your feet. Just give me a second.
Nini? Anasema?
Unaona mimi nashukwa, so kila kitu na kabla ulize hapa ni wapi, hapa ni kahawa wendani karibu na kukufiesa hapo tu kwa stage ya kwenda
If
kao.
only we can learn to follow instructions.
Hawataka ndio wa follow.
If only we can learn to follow instructions.
From ilikuwa inashine other.
This is why sometimes we attend the meeting, you're thinking that some people are listening, but they are just on doing their own things. If you join the meeting, kindly ensure that you've muted your mic, not to interrupt other people who are also attending the meeting. So we were saying that you need to practice common interview questions and develop strong answers that highlight your fit. What we do is we tend to prepare for these interviews when we get a job. And this is why it gets sometimes very tricky on us to express or to talk about who we are. As a job seeker, you need to do practice often and often so that at least you know, if you're going for the sales job, this is what you're going to say. If you're going for the HR job, this is what you're going to say. If you're going for customer service, this is what you're going to say. And if you've been following the process from the word go, you can align and categorize your kind of specialty. And then when a job comes, you can find it easily how to maneuver that job. And then you need to demonstrate enthusiasm. So you need to show genuine interest in the company and the role during the interviews. One thing I've realized about some of us, and the reason as to why we fail the interview, you realize some of us go for an interview, all through the interviewing process, we'll fail to mention the name of the organization. We'll fail to mention what the organization does. And then we make the interview more of what we want and less of what can benefit the organization. What are the harm that this can do to you? You realize that you'll think that you've performed your best, but now when it comes to the time of getting a job, you'll miss the job simply because you didn't do the simple things. And when I talk about simple things, is mentioning the organization. At least you need to mention.
Hey.
Sorry about that. So you need to do your due diligence about the company, and during the interview, try to mention the organization. Try to mention things that the organization have done in the past that align with what align with your particular skill set. So you need to show genuine interest in the company and the role during the interview. Once that is done, many people have been asking me, how do I get job? Because I apply through these job boards. But I'm not able to get an interview. Networking has become king. Networking has become king in this generation that you are. Networking has become king during this time and age that we are living in. It's very important that you expand your networks. But before you do that, you need to audit your connections. And when I talk about auditing your connections, this is now referring to platforms like LinkedIn, platform like the people we have in our contact details. So First of all, you need to do an audit of francs. And in francs here, we have, you need to audit the kinds of friends you have. You need to audit the kind of relatives you have. You need to audit associates. You need to afford neighbors, and you need to afford, you need to audit. Sorry, you need to audit neighbors, and you need to audit the church members that you have. And when it comes to auditing this, these people, what I mean by audit is how many people are working in places I would like to work. How many people have connection in places I would like to maybe work. How many people have got connection in places I would like to work. So once you've audited that from maybe from your francs before you move to the online platform, you can share with them. You are open for opportunities, and you'd like, in case they get something, they can connect you to that job. Some of us, we may have friends who are very qualified for a particular job, but due to the reason that this friend has not mentioned to us that this is the job that you are looking for, you realize that we'll be recommending other people, yet we have people within our networks that can perfectly fit the kind of job that we have, that they want. So it's very important as a job seeker also to audit your francs. And once you've audited your francs, you can do a shout out to them and let them know that you're actively looking for a job. I know some of us will say, oh yes, we've done so many times, but you're not getting these jobs. You never know where your luck lies. So you can do that over and over again. And then when it comes also to LinkedIn, so many of us nowadays are so much focused on getting high number of followers. And this is where I failed as an individual. I had 30,000 followers. I had 40,000 followers. But what I realized that the kind of these followers that I had on LinkedIn were not adding value to me. And what I mean about adding value is these people are not interested in the kind of content I was creating. These people are not interested in what I was doing. So I had to audit this. And when it comes to sending connections and even accepting connections, you realize that nowadays I've learned the art. And one mistake also that I've also seen many people do, especially job seekers, we want only to connect with people who are within our industry. Yes, it's good to do that, but expanding your network will help you get a job fast. Having people who you are in the same industry, if you're not a service provider, if you're not maybe somebody who is into freelance or sometimes consultancy things, I would ask you, when it comes to accepting connections on LinkedIn, I'm not saying you limit the number of connections that you have, but what I mean is once you've done your due diligence, for one, I'm looking forward to working for Safaricom. Number two, I'm looking forward to working for Tesla. Number three, I'm looking forward to working for maybe the manufacturing sector, who are in these positions that can help me get maybe first climb through the ladder. And then once you've identified these people, these are the people to whom you want to connect to. And there's something nice that LinkedIn nowadays has done that I think you should take advantage of. There's a 30-day free premium version. And then the 30 days premium version gives you an opportunity to connect to anyone you want, to send message to anyone you want without these restrictions. So anytime you see the free premium trial on your platform, grab that opportunity. Have the list of people you would like to connect with, and then connect with these people when you have the premium version. But you don't need to wait until you get the premium version. When connecting to these people, don't connect to somebody who posted something 2 years ago and then keep on sending this person messages, and yet this person was active on that platform 2 years ago. Look for people who are active. Look for people who post things on frequent basis. Interact with their kind of content. Maybe send a compliment. Do a research about this, something interesting about these people. And this is if you are interested. This is if you're interested maybe in a future to work in their industry or in their company. So when it comes to networking, networking is not just sending messages left, right, and center. Networking is all about identifying people, the decision makers within an organization, or somebody who can be able to influence a decision, and then make these people your friends. Once you've made these people your friends, and then now send that kind of connection. So networking is always key. I know so many of us fail at networking because we want to network with anybody. And one thing I can tell you on this platform called LinkedIn, we have very big titles, and the big titles can confuse you. Don't just send because you've seen somebody has written, maybe there he's the marketing director, or maybe the chief executive administration officer. And then now, because of the title, you think that this is somebody who is big. Just do the due diligence. If there's a way you can research somebody and then be able to quantify or to qualify this particular person, is this person who can be able to help me? Then, okay, so there's a way you can do that. So networking is always key. And also when it comes to networking, you don't only have to network on LinkedIn. Even through the contact that you have, you can use you can use it as an avenue to network with people who can help you. And how do you network? Networking is not maybe sending me a message or giving me a call. Hey, coach, I'm looking for a job. In case you get a job, please let me, you can do a mention for me. What I mean by networking is you can search something maybe that I think very few people know about me. Something that, for instance, if you've been following me, you can realize that I went through depression, I tried suicide and all that kind of sort. So when you call me, even if you don't reach on LinkedIn and you have my number, I can go something like, hey, Coach Kelvin, I'm undergoing a situation and I've reached a point whereby I think I've hit a rock bottom. But reading through your story, I realized that you are able to overcome this. How can you be of assistance to me? Also, I'll think that now this person have just reached out to me, at least to help me get my advice on how he or she can overcome depression. And then I create a rapport with this person. I open myself to this person. And then we'll continue with the conversation. I have to do this. Can you tell me what you're going, can you elaborate to me what you're going through? How is it? These are the steps that I took, blah, blah, blah. But, oh yes, coach, I've seen this. Now, currently, I've realized that the major cause of my problem is I have the expertise, I have the relevant skills, and I've been able to do this and this and that. But I have applied for jobs for so many times without success. Could it be that I don't know how to express myself, or could it be that my CV is the problem? What will I say? Okay, you can share your CV with me so that I review. Once I've reviewed your CV, I still keep in contact with this person. I'm not still mentioned, I want you to connect me to a job. So I'll be like, oh, how did you see my CV? I'll be like, oh, your CV is good. Oh, your CV needs 1, 2, 3 things. Oh, thank you so much. So during our conversation with Coach Kelvin, I'll try to present value. So by the time I'll be asking for a job, it won't be like person X is trying to hustle me, but person X is genuinely looking for, maybe a connection. And another example is you can maybe you've noted somebody like Dasan Chandaria. There's something that he did that is of value to you, and you've gotten an opportunity to express yourself. Hey, Chandaria, recently I met one of these people you mentored, and they spoke positively about the impact that you created. I'm so much impressed with what you do. And then you'll do a full stop. What will Manu Chandaria do? He'll be like, oh, who is this person? And then I'll give details. As I'm continuing to do this, you'll realize that what I'll be doing is I'll be creating rapport. I'll be creating a rapport with this person. By the time I'm asking for a job, you'll realize that at least I've overcome the barriers between me and this person that I'm reaching out to. But what do most job seekers do when they reach out to people? The first thing that they do is, hey, I have the qualification. No. In fact, I do get customed kind of replies on LinkedIn. I've been following you for some time. I'm amazed with what you do, but currently I'm looking for a job. If you get a position, please connect me. Or do you have position? Do you have an open position within your company? When it comes to networking, always look forward to building rapport. And I've seen some young people on LinkedIn doing amazing job and growing so fast. There's this young man called Nicodemus, where just yesterday he started on LinkedIn. Right now, I've seen he's grown because he has mastered the art of networking. And also, maybe while on this, we've partnered with a lady called Linky Kangede. She's written a book on personal branding. I sponsored 1,000 books, and of these books, it tells you how you can rebrand yourself. It tells you how to express yourself. It tells you how to market. So I've been posting this book. So many people have been buying. What does the book help you do? The book helps you become better part of yourself. And when I talk about better part of yourself is rediscovering yourself. Because what made me partner with Linky is that even some of us who are employed, you realize that you do your job, but your bosses doesn't see your impact. You do your job, but always your effort goes unnoticed. So this book will take you through the process of how you can go through that. If you're interested in the book, you can visit my LinkedIn profile, or maybe if you're in my group, I'll post how you can get the book. But what my point here I want you to take home from here is networking is key, and know how to network appropriately. There's difference between positive networking and desperate networking. So you need to balance these things so that you ensure that when you reach out to me, it's not like you want to take from me, but it's like you want to develop a kind of symbiotic kind of relationship. I think I'll do another webinar fully on networking to help us understand it better. But networking will get you places where your relatives, where your qualification, because through networking, I've given jobs to so many people. I've connected so many people with jobs that I even don't know. Because what have they done differently? They've shown me that they have the capability. They've shown me that they have the potential to produce, or they have the potential to make a difference in the connections that I've been giving them. So once you've done that, so what I could adjust maybe after this meeting, we need to review our kind of the connections or the kind of network we want to keep, and then ensure that you update your networks. For example, you need to share your job search status and career goals with your contacts. You need to plan follow-up. So schedule regular check-ins and express gratitude for any support or lead. And then you need to strengthen your relationship. Engage with networks through social media, industry events, and personal meetings. And while on this appointments, has just come into my mind, always, as a job seeker, it's important to always update a status on LinkedIn. Maybe the open to work thing, or maybe you can update maybe the profile, your experience section, and then share with your contact. What happens when you do this? It shows LinkedIn that this is an active person looking for a job. And whenever a job opportunity arises, you realize that more of the job opportunities will be shown to you. Or you'll get, when a recruiter or a hiring manager is searching for people on LinkedIn, you'll get that you're easily being picked because at least you've updated your profile. So it's always very important just to go re-edit whatever is there and then post it to your network. That is to advantageous to you. Then anytime a recruiting manager, hiring manager, anytime a recruiting manager, hiring manager sent you a message, always ensure that you reply to these messages. What happens the moment you do this, you realize that your content will be shared. And just to prove to you what I'm saying, every time you realize you've edited something on your profile, the profile views and the impression always increases because people get notified. So last time I did a full course on how to maneuver LinkedIn, but always ensure you post something, ensure you are actively seeking for a job by editing maybe your about section, editing your skill section, adding something on education, adding something, and then you share it with your profile. The moment you do that, LinkedIn will know that you're looking for a job. What are some of the things that most job seekers do in this case? You realize that most job seekers, once they've put the open to work badge, that is enough. And somebody who wants to look for me will look for me and will see from open to badge. Or just open to badge, you want a new opportunity. And also as a job seeker, another thing that I also need to reiterate is when it comes to commenting to people's posts, you realize that Coach Kelvin has said that you need to comment maybe on person A, B, C, D's post. So when you go to my post, you realize that you'll be getting content like, I agree with this, I do this and this, I do. Always show value in the kind of comments that you post. Always show value in the kind of comment that you post. And then finally, work out on your portfolio, work out on your experiences. So first of all, build a portfolio. So you need to create a professional portfolio to showcase with your best and to showcase your best work and key projects. Anyone can create a portfolio. And what I mean by portfolio is things that you've been able to do best, things that you've been able to achieve, the kind of skills that you possess, and you can make it in such of a very short document. Anytime you do a shout out to somebody, instead of sending the whole CV, you can be sharing a portfolio. If you have maybe proof of this, the certification, the awards, you can include them in that particular portfolio. I think I'll also do an own webinar on how you can create an online portfolio, whereby if I want to know more about you, in the shortest and the simplest way possible, I can just click through your portfolio and get that. So then gain experience. And how do you gain experience? You can gain experience by pursuing freelance projects, volunteering work, or internship to build relevant experience. There's a platform called Allison. And what Allison does is it gives you an opportunity. It has free courses. What I think they have limited free courses. And when I talk about limited free courses, what happens is in a day, maybe you can have like 2 hours to study. You check for that site, you can get the free skill set courses, and then you can gain more experience on that. You need to update your profiles, ensure your LinkedIn and other professional profile are current and reflect your current and latest achievements. There's an important reason as to why LinkedIn profile picture is always key, because when I'm looking at you, I would rather connect with somebody with a profile picture or than connecting with somebody without a profile picture. And then maybe this is the name reflecting if the LinkedIn if the LinkedIn link profile link is not on your CV, it's always advisable that the name appearing on your CV should be the name appearing on your LinkedIn, so that when somebody is looking for you, you've shared your CV and they want to do background studies about you, they can easily find you on LinkedIn. So ensure you update your LinkedIn profile and your professional profile so that it can be easier for people to find you. So next thing is stay updated. You need to keep abreast of industry trends, skills, demands, and emerging techniques. Then you need to refine your resume, because resume is key. And right now, there's this thing we call application automated tracking system for job seekers. So you need to ensure that your CV can cut through that. You need to practice interviews, and then you need to leverage on job boards. And when on these job boards, be very keen. Don't just apply to any position on this job board, because what most of these people are doing is they are copy pasting jobs from different boards and then pasting to themselves. They'll take you through the process of application, the process of feeding your details, do this, do this. Some of them can even go to an extra mile of inviting you to an interview. But what are they looking for? They are looking for relevance. So you might be thinking that you're applying to a good job, and yet on the other side, you're applying to fake job. So you need to do, it's always, if you've gotten a job maybe advertised on these job boards, go an extra mile, go look into these people's website, in their social media pages. And if you can apply to them directly instead of the job boards, it can be of importance, because so many of us are relying on fake job boards, whereby you are sending numerous applications, and they'll always ensure that anytime you visit their sites, there will always be new jobs posted on those particular sites. So you need to do your due diligence to quantify or qualify a job before you send that application. You need to qualify. So that is always key. So the next step, because what I've realized is so many of us have been missing points when it comes to this job application process. And this is why I dedicated my skill set in ensuring, first of all, we have good CVs. Once we have good CVs, we are going to go to the next process of now, how do we go through the job applications? Once we go through that, how do you go through interviews? And for those people who already have jobs, how can you be best at your job? So always ensure that you can reach out to your favorite CV review coach or CV career coach. Ensure that you have their CVs. But also, if you'd like our services in the CV revamp, you can also always reach out to us. So these are the things I wanted to share with us today. These are the things I wanted to share with us today, so that at least we get a clear view, because so many of us are failing because not because they want, but because they don't know. But we are going to still have these sessions, so that at least we can. We are going to have this session so that at least we can get to a point whereby it benefits anyone. That being said, I'm opening the floor to questions now. I'm done with my presentation. At what point did you? Okay, anyone with a question, you can raise your hands, or you can use the chat sessions. Anyone with a question?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I've already asked that question on the chat section, and someone has replied, but I wanted to know, because I've recently discovered the featured button on LinkedIn, where you can post like whatever you're saying, portfolio or something like that. For example, videos, images. But I was asking, apart from LinkedIn, is there anywhere else where you can post your portfolio, or what do you mean by portfolio? Because from where I sit, I understand portfolio, it's like your work, showcasing your work. So apart from LinkedIn, is there any other way you can maximize LinkedIn apart from the post and that featured button? Thank you.
Okay. Yes, there is. If you check LinkedIn, there's a section of projects. And when it gets to that section of projects, you can customize it the way you want. Or simply, there's you can prepare just a document either in PDF form or in whatever form that it is. And then when somebody asks, you can share. I'm gonna do more research on the same and come up if there are any platform. I know there's this one called GitHub for those people who are in coding and into computer techs, but I'm going to do more research on that and I'll come back with the feedback. But you can utilize the project sections, or you can do them as PDF and post them as slideshows on your LinkedIn post.
The project part is under what?
It's
I've
LinkedIn.
never seen.
Just check. If you check those under sections, if you check, how do I call it? If you check other sections on LinkedIn, you'll see the projects part. We have the projects, we have the certification.
Okay, thank you. I'll check on it.
Yeah, projects, certifications. Yes, Julius. Yes, Julius, you can unmute and go ahead.
Yeah, my question was, from your experience, do you think upgrading to premium LinkedIn is more helpful than the normal LinkedIn as a job seeker?
Yes, and I know, because premium LinkedIn, the only difference is you can message people, you can, depending on whatever you subscribe on, you can be able to message people, you can be able to view their profiles, but I would really ask us to measure on the organic using the normal LinkedIn. Because the problem is the moment you start using the premium version, every time you stop, you realize that your impressions will be going down. And then the premium session is not cheap. If you're somebody looking for a job, it's not cheap. But if you're into the project or if you're in the business industry, I would advise you go for it. But as a job seeker, because I can tell you for a fact, I've never subscribed to the premium version except for the free trial versions that has given me results. But I've built my profile purely on organic, and I've not bought any kind of followers. Any other question?
Coach.
Yes, James.
Yeah, so this is Brian. I just used my friend's PC. So actually, it's been a very informative and interactive session. Though I logged in a bit late. So my question is, are you able to get me?
Yes,
yeah,
yes, I can get you.
Yeah, there is sometimes on LinkedIn, I've been on LinkedIn for almost 7 years. So sometimes there are these international job hunters, they will inbox you via LinkedIn, take you through a process. Then at the end of the process, they hand you over to a Kenyan email or maybe an HR, I don't know. Then the communication ends there. Maybe how can you know that it's a very genuine position? Or yeah.
Number one, and you've asked a very important question. I tell people to go showcase their achievements and be active on LinkedIn that they're looking for a job. But this has worked for some people and it has not worked for other people. Remember, we are living in an age whereby there are so many con women and con men. The moment somebody sees that you are desperate, they'll take advantage of you. And I'm going to narrate it clearly on how they do it, because so many people, so many of us have fallen short of this or have become culprits in this. So you'll keep on posting on your profile, oh, I'm open to work, I did this for this organization, I did this one for this organization. Then what happens? These people will see that this person is very desperate for this particular job. So what will happen? They'll reach out to you, oh, we've viewed your profile, we find that you are a perfect candidate for this job. What will they do? Send us your CV and we'll do a review and call you for an interview. After sending your CV, they'll review, get back to you the following day. We reviewed your CV and you're the perfect fit for this job. So we are going to do a phone screening interview. They will go through the phone screening interview and they'll keep on mentioning to you, don't accept this. If you get somebody who asks you for money before they give you a job, that is a scam. These people will take you through the phone interviews.
For the operations manager role.
All right, Tabitha, you can mute your mic for the time being. I'll give you a chance. So these people, they'll take you through the screening and then they'll tell you, oh, you've performed so well. So come to our offices, and you realize that nowadays we have the rental open office spaces whereby I can rent and then brand my office. They'll call you in that place, you'll go do the interview, they'll give you a contract. And once you've signed the contract, they'll tell you you're supposed to start maybe in a month's time or in a week's time. By the time you're home, somebody else will call you, oh, somebody else, maybe one of my colleagues have somebody who is more qualified, and they're really fighting for my colleague to get this job, but I'm really fighting for you. So please, you just keep in touch and I'm gonna help you get through this. You know, they are preparing your psychology. And then the next time they'll call you, we don't want you to pay anything, but the other person, the other person they were fighting for has maybe paid 40,000 to get this job, and it has now gone out of my hand. There's nothing I can do to help you get this job. At the back of your mind, you're the person who will say, oh, if there's anything needed, now that I have the contract, let me pay this particular amount for me to secure a job. The moment you make payment, they'll disappear. And that one, to answer your question, before you accept to any kind of this, just do due diligence. Even if it means calling the organization, it means visiting their social media pages. Just find out if somebody reaches out to you that this organization is maybe has an opportunity. Do your due diligence before you cough out any money, because these people will take you up to the last process. You even sign the contract and they'll give you a hefty contract. If you are earning something like 70,000 Kenya shillings, these people will pay you an extent of 300,000 with so many much bonuses. By the time you're seeing you're losing this, you'll give out money easily and then they'll disappear. And what they'll do is they look for people in that organization. They register their Truecaller with that particular name so that when the person calls you, you'll see if it is Esther Joroge from Safaricom. If you go to the Safaricom website, you'll see Esther Joroge, and you'll be confused. Even on their LinkedIn profile, they'll have a pseudo account that is of the same. So you need to do your due diligence when it comes to that. Nowadays, what they do is they'll mention so many times, so before you get this job, don't give any money. We are not looking forward to getting any money from you. Yes, Arnold. Arnold Mitema. Your hand is up, Arnold.
Hello, Coach Kelvin.
Hello.
Can you get me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, that's great, Coach Kelvin. So my question basically goes at the CV revamp process that you've stated. I would like to understand, you stated that you should be updating your experiences. For instance, let me ask you, for instance, when you've been doing or you've been in a role for a particular period of time, and the same things that you've been doing, maybe let's say for a period of 5 years, are the same things, will you be updating them on your CV? That's the first question. In that the roles that you need to make experiences are the same things that you've been doing for maybe quite a long time. And another question in terms of the CV revamp, if you are to do it for someone, how will you take them through the process? How will you handle them? Maybe some new client coming to you. Kindly, Coach Kelvin.
Okay, I'll start with the second question. One thing we do, and people who are here will tell you, people we've worked with, is your money is not very important to us. First of all, we'll get to understand, number one, are you actively looking for job? That is number one. What kind of job are you looking for? And then we'll ask you to share your CV with us. We'll go do the review. We'll go through your CV to see if the kind of job you're looking for is well represented in your CV. And then if you see your CV needs a revamp, we'll let you know, and then we'll ask you for more details. So the position you want to apply for, is it senior positions? Is it industry? Once we get all that details from you, we work on your CV based on what you've told us, and we make it so easy for you to master. It's because these are things that you do on a daily basis. The only thing we do differently is how we tell the story. Once your CV is done, we'll share your CV with you. We'll tell you to go through it, see what you don't understand, then you get back to us. And then if there's something that you don't understand, we'll have a call. And then now we'll be able to explain to you, for instance, this profile section, this is what it means. The skill set section, this is why we've done it this way and this way. And for instance, if there's a section of your CV that we've removed, we'll tell you that this is what was removed, and this is the reason as to why we removed this particular thing. So if we've taken you through that process, and then once you get an interview, or if in case you need to apply for a different job, this is what you need to check into your CV. And we ensure that we do it so simply so that at least we don't have to charge you every now and then. It's something that you can do yourself. But if you are not able to do it yourself, you can reach out to us and we can do it maybe at a fee. But the format that we use it, we make it very simple for you to adjust. So that is the process that we go through the CV so that you understand the document that represents you. Because what we realized that is we were doing the CVs for people, and then without reading through the CV, somebody will make job application. But when they come for an interview, you realize that whatever is written on their CV is totally different from whatever this person is saying. So we'll ensure that we take you through this process. And anybody else that we've ever gone through an interview session with, my first assignment is always, do you understand your CV so well? Go read through your CV, because I'm going to ask you a question on your CV. So we take you through that process so that we ensure that you understand that document. And then importantly, we tell you once that is done, we can tell you how you can match the job advert, which sections you need to edit, and what do you have to include where. I hope I've answered your question. Yes, and
Sure.
Yes, the skills might be different, but you might be upgrading. Maybe there's some new project you've done. There's something that a project you have led, an achievement you have gotten. These are things you need to re-edit on your CV so that at least you don't just have a custom kind of the CV. Any other, Julius, you have a question, or are you? Julius, if I've
Maybe
answered
a
your
quick
question.
one, Coach.
Yes.
Coach Kelvin.
Yes, you can
Okay,
go ahead.
let's say for instance, okay, I'm asking, let's say for instance, this is a freshman who is just joining in the work industry. Maybe you've just completed your university or your college education and you don't have any job experience. How do you go about that kindly, Mr. Coach?
Yes. What you need to leverage on as a freshman is the skills that you possess. And you need to present the skills in such a way of maybe the projects that you did in school, the attachment that you did in school. So leverage much on the skills that you possess. And one thing I also tell people who are freshmen is try investing, especially on this volunteering work and maybe these freelance work, so at least you can gain your experience. But if you don't have the relevant experience, bank on if you possess the IT skills, if you possess the IT skills, you possess maybe the communication skills, leverage on your skills. Because you realize that, for instance, when it comes to skill set, is very important for a freshman. But if you're applying for a senior position, you realize that there'll be some mistake that we do as people applying for the senior position is will include so much of our educational background, but you realize that most employers are not interested on the educational background. They're interested on what are you able to do for them. Any other question? Okay, ladies are not talking here today. Today we have understanding ladies. So that is done. So I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to all of us for attending this session. One ask, if you've not given me a review on Google, I'm kindly counting on you, please, to do so. because that is what helps me also my profile get shown to so many people. Secondly, if you think you have a CV that you've applied for jobs with for so many times and you're not getting this interview, reach out to us. Once you've done your CV, you can always come back for consultations and we'll do whatever it takes to help you go through that process. We also do LinkedIn revamps, LinkedIn makeovers, and then we take you through on how you can make content. But if you're not able to afford that, you can always attend these sessions and then you get to learn a thing or two. But I can tell you for the month of July, we had so many success stories when it comes to people securing interviews and also people securing jobs. And we are going to do that, extend that in the month of August. Somebody is asking me if CV revamp is still on offer. Yes, the offer expires tonight at 11 a.m. So you can reach out before that offer expires, and then now we'll resume that. But it depends on how we interact with you. So thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna share my Google profile link on the WhatsApp group. If you're not in my WhatsApp group, we've created a channel you can join, and you'd always be sure not to miss a thing. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. I don't know who is going to pray for us as we finish. A lady, please. Joseph has a question. I have a question. For example, maybe your area of a specialization. Or before we go that, I'll ask maybe two people to give us their feedback on the experience. Maybe this session, have they learned something new? Coach, I have a question. For example, maybe your area of specialization is criminology and security, but you have skill in sales. How do you craft that on your CV? Growing up, before I got into this coaching stuff, my background is in communication and journalism. I did my first degree is in public relations. Then along the way, public relations major and broadcast journalism. But along the way, I lost passion in that and I developed passion in something different, that is marketing. And then I've developed passion in career coaching. So how do you present this on your CV? You can build on what if it's in sales, what I can tell you is, for instance, if you still have in criminology, kindly try looking for volunteering work in a line of criminology, or you can put it in your CV as a consultant. You've been consulting with other, maybe a firm or you have your consultancy firm or you're consulting with other firms, and then now you present them as a part-time kind of thing. But if yours is in sales, you can major on sales. Another way is you can use, for instance, if it's in criminology, you can get to apply for this volunteer, or you can just volunteer if you know of an organization that your skill set would be fit, you just volunteer so that at least you can get experience to present on your CV. You can still have that, but if you're good in skills, if you have good sales skills, always bank on that. But if you're applying for a job that requires criminology, bank on the educational background. But if you're applying for a job that is in sales, bank on the sales skills. Because even these people understand that sometimes you might apply for this, you studied for this, but you are doing something different. Can we get feedback from two people, two volunteers? I'm seeing so many people we've worked with here. Can we get feedback from two volunteers? Hey, Esther Wanjiko, how are you? Engineer. A feedback from you?
Hi, Coach.
Hi.
It's my first time joining your session, and it has also been great working with you. I have really learned a lot. I think for me, it's a process of unlearning and relearning. So keep doing what you're doing, and God bless you so much.
Thank you. I'm looking for that person who has not spoken. Yes, Shaban Rashid, say something before I share the WhatsApp link.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Albert. I always, good evening, everyone. I always see your posts on the LinkedIn and I get much interested in them. I've seen the session that you have had. It's a wonderful session that we always need to have more of this, at least to understand the influence that 1, 2, 3 individual can have in our careers. So far, what you have taken, the step that you have taken to educate each and every individual is a very vital step that when taken serious, it will have a great impact in our lives in terms of our career. Mind just to thank you and wish you all the best in everything you do and continue impacting lives. This will always impact a lifetime life on someone.
Okay, thank you so much. Who is going to volunteer to pray for us?
I can pray.
Please do.
Okay, let's pray. Heavenly Father God, we come before your presence this evening. We thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for the gift of one another. Thank you, God, even for Coach Kelvin, for the first sacrifice that he's making and he keeps making, Jehovah God, in helping people secure jobs and even know how to go around job applications and everything that regards to work, Jehovah God. I thank you for each and every person that is on this call and has attended this session, Jehovah God, and is trusting you for work, oh God. Lord, you know our end from the beginning, and Lord, you know where we fit best. And I pray that, Lord, even as we apply for jobs, Jehovah God, that you will is it locate or is it place us in the right places that will help us to grow in terms of our career, and in areas, in places where we will be able to give our 100%, Jehovah God. I believe that many of us will come back with testimonies, Jehovah Father God. I thank you for your goodness. I thank you for your mercies, oh God. May you continue being with us, Jehovah God. Even for Kelvin, may you continue to renew his strength, Jehovah God, even as he does this. It is in vain, Jehovah Father God. I thank you, Lord, even as we sleep. May you be, Jehovah God, and even as we start a new week, Jehovah God, may you take care of us. For it is in Jesus' name, pray and believe. Amen.
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 Good night,
Amen.
guys. And thank you so much. I don't take this for granted. Bye-bye. See you in the next session. If you'd like your CV revamped, the offer I have is expiring at midnight. You can reach out on WhatsApp. Today I won't sleep that early. Bye. See you.